Hi guys, Mama G here. I'm going to show you how to build a recipe in my Fitness Pal recipe builder, and then how I healthify those recipes. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Oh, all right, here we go. Here we are on this lovely screen here. So let's go to the original recipe so you can see now what the deal is. So they're called burrito spaghetti squash bowls. And it's saying 2 servings, which seems that 2 big spaghetti squash halves filled with stuff would be a little excessive. So the bottom line here is it says to cut these in half, take the seeds out, take a tablespoon of olive oil, so it's a little less than a teaspoon on each half, rub them with that and these spices, and then bake them. I don't know that we're going to use any olive oil. We'll see what the recipe pans out to be. Then it looks like you take your olive oil and then you saute onion and garlic, the ground beef, seasonings, and then you pretty much mix everything else in. There's black beans and cherry tomatoes and corn and cheese and all of these things. And there is the finished product. But I would say that one of these would be likely better in terms of meal size. So let's go back to here. I'm going to go up to food right here. Going to click on recipes. And I'm going to take the URL and put it right in here for you. So now it comes up with the ingredients for that imported. It put 2 servings here, and we'll leave it for the moment. Perfect low carb meal. Nothing low carb about it. So let's match. How about perfect no crap meal, no crappy carb meal? I don't know what it's supposed to mean. So let's click on this right here, match my ingredients, see what happens. We're lucky in that it says matching 18 of 18 ingredients. I'll put money on that. The majority of these aren't going to be any good. So we can see here that we've got 2 pounds of spaghetti squash at 21 calories. That is 100% not right. Since I have no idea, let's put in I don't even know what to do. Spaghetti squash. Let's see what kind of options we get. Because the thing is, the best we can do here is do a spaghetti squash plain and baked. Let's see what happens when we look at our options here. So we could look at ounces, which I kind of like. I don't know. I'm going to assume it weighs at least a half a pound. So let's go in 8 ounces. Let's see what kind of calories we get. Honestly, we're a little up in the air right now with terms of what this looks like. But spaghetti squash is pretty low calorie. I would say that we would scoop out what's inside of here and weigh it for one of the halves so that we have a better idea, and then we could build a little better in the future. Just really difficult to say. I'm not sure exactly what a medium spaghetti squash would have been. So we'll just go at 8 ounces of squash right now and see what happens. It's only 81 calories. The thing is, we're doing this with 2 spaghetti squashes. So I'm going to go ahead and edit the quantity and go ahead and say 32 ounces, which means they would weigh a pound each. And actually, when I go to the store today, I'm going to go in and do a little, I'll buy one maybe. All right, we've got an olive oil. We know that's 120 calories. Remember I said we may not be using this in our recipe because we're going to mix it with the spices and bake it. I may just give it a little spray with the olive oil, which is not even an amount that I would worry about. Again, here's another tablespoon that we'll use to saute. 50 grams, I don't even know what it is. I know an onion is about 8. I've done my work, and I'm going to change the quantity on this. This one only comes up as grams, so I don't want to do that. I'm going to replace this with onion, and I'm going to put ounces, and we should get a better option here. Error, geez, what the heck is this about? Let's put an onion. So here's raw onion. See if they have the option of ounces, which I do, which I like. So if I was going to use a half of an onion, probably use a whole onion. Let's put 8 ounces just for fun. And this is where Mama G does her own thing. But sometimes you have to just be your own kind of creative. 2 cloves of garlic. Says the same thing there, 2 cloves of garlic. So I'm going to go with that. You know that I want to change this out. This doesn't tell you anything about the percentage. If you want to use ground beef, try to use the 93.7. I'm going to go ahead and replace it with ground turkey. I just love the flavor of it. 93/7. Well, you're going to get it. And there's lots of choices here, but pretty much you can put in your brand if you have it. This one doesn't have ounces. Well, let's see if Kroger offers ounces. Yes, thank goodness. So we could put in 1 pound, but there's no way. If this is 2 serving, that's a half a pound each. Not a chance in hell. I'm going to make this 4 servings. I'm going to use 8 ounces. Holy Toledo. Oh, no wonder we as a population are obese. Okay, taco seasoning should be no big deal. Kosher salt, pepper, black beans. I know that it's right around that amount. Again, you could put your specific can in. This calls for 1.5 cups of chopped cherry tomatoes. This calls for 3 tomato, 1. It doesn't even make sense. So let's replace it to, I'm going to use grape tomatoes because that's what I use. Tomatoes. I'm going to go with ounces. Again, try to be as specific as you can. So grape tomato. Grapes. I don't want grape tomato. Let's see if there's ounces here. Oh, yay, good. 1.5 cups. See, I have no idea. Let's just go at 6 ounces. Honestly, like some of these things you just got to guesstimate. Here's a cup of corn. It says a cup of corn. We should feel pretty confident. Again, you can always scan your own stuff in here. Jack cheese. So it called for 1 cup. Now it says 4 grams. Well, it's not 4 grams. Let's put in Monterey Jack. And again, I'm going to put in ounces. Ounces will universally, no matter whether you're in Ireland or in the United States, we can get the same thing. I'm fine with Monterey Jack there. I'm going to put in 4 ounces. Again, I'm just going to start this process. I have no idea what this is going to look like. Do know it's 440 calories. It called for a cup. So let's go ahead and edit that quantity because that's a lot of cheese. And I'm probably going to edit this some more. And then it calls for more cheese. Now it calls for cheddar. Cheddar. You may end up changing this, by the way. So Tillamook medium cheddar, there's an ounce. I'm going to go with 1 ounce. Calls for cilantro, 1 calorie. I'm perfectly happy with that. Okay, so let's go back up to here. Now, notice it says 2 servings and they're 967 calories, 61 calories. Not happening. So let's change it to 4 servings. And let's save it and log it. And I'll log it for my dinner tonight. I'll put in 1 serving and there you go. So let's look at this. So here's dinner, the butternut squash. Right now we've got percents. If you touch it, you'll toggle it. So we know we want the percent. So right now, this is sitting at 480 calories, which is, higher than we want it, but not too much, easily fixable. 42 carb, 37 fat, 21 protein. Oh, Mama G, man, she's pretty smart. So let's go back to recipes and let's make some adjustments. So I can click on this spaghetti squash boats here. I'm going to edit it. The first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the perfect low carb dinner, annoying me. Let's go ahead and take out this first olive oil because it's not needed. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and change it. How about that? How about I change the quantity? And let's see if I can get teaspoon. Well, no, I can't. So let's go with 0.33. So let's use 1 teaspoon of it just to rub it on there and give a little flavor to the spaghetti squash. I will go ahead and leave in the tablespoon of olive oil, even though I'll put money that I don't need it. um, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and change it to, again, I'm going to change it to 1 teaspoon because honestly, just need a little bit to keep things from sticking in the pan for the moment. But the garlic, the taco seasonings, the salt, the pepper. Where's my ground beef? La, 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 la. There's the olive oil. These are the things we're mixing with. Now you got the olive oil, the garlic, the taco. Oh, it's a little bit of out of order. Okay, so I don't care. The black beans are fine. We might reduce the amount. The corn is fine. We might reduce the amount. The spaghetti squash is fine. The onions are fine. I'm not concerned about the turkey and all of these things. So we've now changed the calories to 430. So let's save it. And let's go back to save and log it. And we'll do again that dinner. Let's try that again. Kicked me out of it. Let's log it. Again, this stuff takes a little bit of time and effort. And if you're willing to put in the time and effort, it can be very productive. So let's get rid of this one. So we look at the calories. You know, we're pretty much in range for our carb, our fat, and our protein. But now we got to go evaluate that meal. Now, it's going to be a Mama G. For you guys, you can cook it, right? Pretty much, you know what you did. But here's what I'm going to tell you is we have a couple things that we're going to talk about. We talk about calories, right? Somewhere between 350 to 400 calories. All right, so we'll be able to get this down. Second thing we talk about is starchy, grainy carbs. So spaghetti squash, not a starchy, grainy carb. But if we go to the bottom here, we know what starchy, grainy carbs look like. And those are the corn, 150 calories. Take some notes here. The black beans, 413 calories. Those are both starchy, grainy. And that is the extent of your starchy, grainy. So that totals to 563 divided by 4. 120 times 5. So about 115 calories from the starchy grainy. Not really enough starchy grainy for Mama G's taste buds. So why don't we up the amount of corn? And if we go with the 400 and 300 divided by 700, la di di da da da, oh, la la la. I should just show you this. Let's just show you. I wonder if you can see that. You may not be able to see this, but if I've got 413, oh, this is what I want to say. If I want 150 calories from the starchy grainy times 4, and there's 4 servings, I know I want about 600 calories. So I need at a minimum of 600 calories from the starchy grainies. Right now, I've got 560. I need to increase something by 40 calories. So let's just do this. And I have room. So let's just change this to 1.5 cups of corn. Oh, where is this corn? There's the cup. And there's our new addition. Okay. So now we have much better in the range for our starchy grainies. Second thing we look to is to have at least 50 calories from the old non-starchies. So we've got 70 calories from the tomatoes. We've got 90 calories from the onions. At this point, we have 250-ish calories from the spaghetti squash. I may be so far off on that for a half a bowl of spaghetti squash. Let's just total this right now. 250, 350, around 400 calories. So it's well over the amount of non-starchies. Okay. If I got room for it, why not? And then we talk about hitting our macros. So we're back up on calories. We don't really want that. we can now consider looking at it logged again one more time. So today, dinner, 1 serving, logging it. Do, do. We'll get rid of this one. And again, carbs are in range. Can't complain too much. Fat's in range. Protein's a little bit high. So the protein's a little bit high because we have that 2 ounces of ground turkey plus those grains, and some of those vegetables would help push the proteins up there. So I either be happy the way it is or understand that I'm probably off on my spaghetti squash, and I can, just for the heck of it, go back in here, edit the recipe, and let's just say that I'm off on the spaghetti squash. Let's look at the spaghetti squash. And where are you? 32 ounces, which would be 8 ounces per. I don't think so. So here we go. Just going to save it. Going to send these ingredients to the individual who asked me to build the recipe and healthify it, and I'm going to have her make it and report back. And then we can see if this recipe is now Mama G worthy. So that is how you use the recipe builder in MyFitnessPal. There's lots of forethought that goes into making your recipe Mama G approved. But in terms of you just wanting to build a recipe and being able to throw it in there, have at it. But honestly, really have to think about the quality, the quantity, and all of those things when we're looking at foods that we want to feed our families. Have a beautiful day. And you know what Mama G always says, it's not about what you lose, it's all about what you gain.